Welcome everybody to part 3 of my Norway travel vlog. This time we're in Flåm in Norway. But before we go into that, let's continue with that fun little game from last time of what did I eat on that particular evening. So, for starters, did I have the python rolls, which were crispy seafood spring rolls with jungle herb sauce, or did I have the elephant ears, cheesy garlic flatbread with hummus, or did I have crocodile crunch nuggets, cornflake crusted chicken bites with dipping sauce? And for main course, did I have the Scottish Tweed River wild salmon souffle? Did I have the Roar of the Wild gobbler, roast wild jungle turkey with bacon and apple stuffing, gravy, roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts and cranberry sauce? Did I have Panthera Flame, which is char-grilled strip loin steak, maitre butter, red wine gravy served with hand-cut chips and vegetables? Did I have rainforest fettuccine whispers? Did I have jungle vegetables and paneer curry? Which of those did I have? And then for dessert, did I have Jaguar's Gold, a warm chocolate fondant with ice cream? Did I have the Tarzan combo, green jelly, cheesecake and forest berries? Or did I have monkey tail fritters, which are banana fritters with honey roasted almonds and vanilla ice cream? Leave your answers in the comments below and stay to the end to find out the answer. Okay, so this is the view that I woke up to, which was really quite a nice view indeed. This is a view of Flåm from the cruise ship, looking down over the little village that was there. Whilst I was walking around the market area, I did wonder about whether they do like a mini food festival type thing, and it turns out they do. So apparently May 15th to October 1st approximately, they do Taste of the Fjord at Fjord Farm. And they do like a guided 1-hour tasting featuring local meats, cheeses, traditional stews like Laps cows, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, dessert and coffee, and then obviously with stories about Norwegian food heritage. And then from June 15th to September 1st in the evenings, they do Music of the Fjord, evening concert and food. And this is like traditional Norwegian music in a restored barn, and then they pair that with like local drinks and snacks. And then there's also like a bonus farm shop that has seasonal produce. So even outside of those events, the Fjord Farm offers like a charming like farm shop. It's got local jams, it's got cheeses, apple juice, baked goods, you know, so things like that. So you can really get a little taste of the area as well. I think I've just found the cutest sheep in the world. Oh my goodness, look at them all. All different colours, they're so cute. So after I'd had a bit of a walk around the little village area that was right by where we'd pulled in at the port, we then got onto the Flåm Railway. Now my footage is a bit messed up because, as I said, I had corrupted camera, so I've got a bit of a mishmash of on the way there and on the way back, but it's the same route, so it's just, you know, what was on both sides of the track. So the route itself runs between Flåm, which is a fjordside village, and Mørdal, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, hopefully I am, which is a mountain station on the Bergen line. And on the way up we went past, I think there was a hotel you could stop at, there was a little tea room you could stop at with scones and jam, whatever. There was loads of other things on the way that they were pointing out. The actual Flåm Railway is 12.6 miles long, and the elevation descends or ascends 866 metres. It's one of the steepest standard gauge railway climbs in the world, apparently, and it was quite steep at times, I have to say. And the journey took about an hour each way, so an hour to get up to Mørdal and then an hour to get back down again. But the construction took 20 years to build. 20 years! And they actually told us all about it on the train itself, how they built it. It was completed in 1940. So obviously they'd started in 1920, but that's an awful, long route to be doing. So some of the footage you're seeing now, there was obviously Flåm Valley, which is lush and green, and it had traditional farms and wooden houses. I love those Norwegian wooden houses, they're so cool. In the summer, there's lush greenery and waterfalls, which obviously you can see from the footage. But in the winter, you get snowy vistas and frozen streams, which also would be quite cool, I reckon, to see. But it was a beautiful journey. As you can see, there's so many waterfalls left, right and centre. Absolutely stunning. Then we went up and we stopped at the Kjosfossen waterfall. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It was a dramatic waterfall, really wide, massive, and so we could disembark the train briefly, and they had a mythical Huldra dancer near the falls, and they had music playing as well, and she was dancing. Nearer to Myrtle, you could see snow-capped peaks. So even when we went, there were some snow-capped peaks. Only a few, but there were some. There's about 20 tunnels and several bridges. Many of those tunnels were hand dug, and it's just amazing the engineering that went behind, making that route. One thing that we did was we actually sat on the left-hand side of the train on the way up, and it's actually best to sit on the right-hand side of the train on the way up and the left-hand side on the way down. There's also hiking and bike options. You could take the train one way and then you could hike back, or get a bike and cycle back through the valley. That's also quite a good choice. I did see quite a few people do that, and I was sort of thinking, I wouldn't mind hiking back. So here is a vintage electric locomotive, which is likely part of the L series, which was used on the steep mountain lines. It's probably from around the mid-20th century, possibly from the 1950s or 60s. It suggests it may have been imported or used internationally because it has Pericolo non toccare written on the side. Here is a red rail inspection vehicle, which was used by the Norwegian State Railways. It allowed engineers to travel short distances along the track to inspect rails, tunnels and signals. Here we've got a yellow electric inspection vehicle, and this was electrically powered rail inspection car. It had mechanical undercarriage with dry shafts and couplings, and it kind of represents the evolution from manual to electric inspection tools. So here we have a Fretheim Hotel horse-drawn carriage, which is like a vintage passenger carriage from likely the late 19th to early 20th century. This carriage represents the pre-railway era of Flåm, when guests arrived by boat and were transported by horse to the hotel. So it's quite a nice symbol of hospitality and travel before the modern infrastructure. And all too quickly it was over. Our time in Flåm had finished and we were back on the boat again. We were sailing through the fjords. Our next stop was Ålesund, so there were some beautiful views on the way out of the fjord from Flåm. We went past some really nice little villages that were right by the water's edge, and more waterfalls, more steep mountains and cliffs and all sorts. It was fabulous. The weather had brightened up, and then about the time we were about to leave it had clouded over again, as you can see from the footage, but actually it made for some very dramatic photos with the clouds dipping below the level of the top of the mountains and the mistiness as well, and it was just very serene and kind of moody. And then as we came out of the fjords and kind of back into the North Sea to travel down to Ålesund, it brightened up a little bit and we did see some hints of blue sky. So now it's time for the bit you've all been waiting for. What did I eat? Well, for starters, I ended up having the crocodile crunch nuggets, which were cornflake crusted chicken bites with dipping sauce. And then for main course, I had raw of the wild gobbler, roast wild jungle turkey with bacon and apple stuffing, gravy, roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts and cranberry sauce. That was very nice, I have to say. That was definitely a good option. And then for dessert, I had the Jaguar's Gold, a warm chocolate fondant with ice cream. Oh my goodness gracious me. That was the best thing I think I had on the whole time I was on the ship. So yeah, there you go. That is what I had. So if you got it right, well done. I hope you left your comments down below as to what I had. So that was it for our trip to Flåm. Next stop, Ålesund. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and make sure you check out the next episode where I explore Ålesund. Bye everyone!